on Greenon, the ICA headquarters, which is the site for the first performance of the Dublin area ADL's production of The Matchmaker.
I will marry your niece, and right soon, too.
Never!
Your niece obeys, Mr. Vandergeller. Your niece considered to marry me. This is a free country, Mr. Vandergeller, not a private kingdom of your own.
There are no free countries for fools, Mr. Kemper. Thank you for the honor of your visit. Good morning.
Mr. Vandergeller, will you kindly sit still? If I cut your throat, it'll be practically unintentional.
Ermengarde is not for you, nor for anybody else who can't support her.
I'll tell you, I can't support her. I make a very good living.
No, sir. A living is made by selling something that everybody needs at least once a year. Yes, sir. And $1 million is made by selling something everybody needs every day of the week. Your artists produce something that nobody wants at any time. You may produce a picture once in a while, but you make no living. Joe, go over there and step 3 times. I want to speak to Cornelius.
Not only can I support her now, but I consider expectations.
Expectations? We merchants don't do business with them. I don't keep accounts with people who promise somehow, someday to pay something. I don't allow my niece to marry such people.
Very well. From now on, you might as well not regard any way we can finally get married as right and fair. Ermengarde is a baby, Mr. Vandergeller, and there's no law that says we can't
get... Let me tell you something, Mr. Kemper. Most of the people in the world are fools. The law is there to prevent crime, and we men of sense are there to prevent foolishness. It's I and not the law that prevent Ermengarde from marrying you. Besides, I've taken some steps already. I've sent her away to get this nonsense out of her head.
Ermengarde's not here.
She's gone. East, west, north, south. I thank you for the honor of your visit.
Everything's ready, Mr. Vandergelder. Ermengarde and I have just finished packing the trunk.
Hold your tongue.
Yes, Mr. Vandergelder. Ermengarde's ready to leave. Her trunk's all marked clearly. Care of Miss Van Houston, 8 Jackson Street.
Hell, the damnation, didn't I tell you it was a secret?
Care Miss Van Houston, 8 Jackson Street, New York. Thank you very much. Good morning, Mr. Vandergeller.
It won't do you any good, Mr. Kemper. Deaf and blind, at least you'll be the favor of being dumb.
Oh, such a temper, Lord save us.
Yes, Mr. Vandergelder. Going to get my niece's trunk.
Yes, Mr. Vandergeller.
Wait. Gertrude, has Mrs. Levi arrived yet?
No need to shout, I'm not deaf. Everything's clearly marked.
Have the buggy brought around to the front of the store in half an hour.
Yes, Mr. Vandergeller.
This morning, I'm joining my lodge parade. This afternoon, I'm going to New York. Now, before I go, I have some important news for you. Good news. I'm thinking of promoting you. How old are you?
33, Mr. Vandergelder.
What?
33.
That old? That's a foolish age to be at. I thought you were 40.
33.
Man's not worth a cent till he's 40. Just pay him wages to make mistakes. Hey, Joe?
You almost lost an ear on it, Mr. Vandergelder.
Anyway, I was thinking of promoting you to chief clerk.
What am I now, Mr. Vandergelder?
You're an impertinent fool, that's what you are. Now, if you behave yourself, you'll be promoted from impertinent fool to chief clerk, with a raise in your wages. And Barnaby, well, he may be promoted from idiot apprentice to incompetent clerk.
Thank you, Mr. Vandergelder.
Now, I'm going to get my niece's trunk.
Yes,
And I want to see you again before I go.
Yes, Mr. Vandergelder.
The word's going to pieces. Like my father used to say, the horses will be taking over the world soon.
That's the best I can do, Mr. Vandergelder. Well, with you flying in and out of the chair.
Ah, fine, Joe, fine. You do a fine job. Same job you've done to me now for the last 20 years. Isn't there something a little extra you could do? Something a little special? I'll pay you right up to 50 cents. See what I mean? Do some of them things you do to the young fellas. Now, touch me up a little bit. Smarten me up.
All I know is 15 cents with Mr. Vandergelder. And that includes everything that's decent to do to a man.
Oh, hold your horses, Joe. All I mean
I've been shaving you for the last 20 years, Mr. Vandergelder, and you never done ask me no question like that before.
Hold your horses, Joe. I'm going to tell you a secret. I don't want you telling it to that riffraff down at the barber store. I'm going to tell you. All I ask is a little extra, because I'm planning to get married again. And this very afternoon, I'm going to call on my intended, very fine lady.
Well, when you get married, ain't none of my business, Mr. Vandergelder. I did everything to you I know how, and in charge of 15 cents like it always was. And it ain't going to be any different in the future either. And I don't dye no hair, not even for 50 cents I don't.
Joe Stanton, get out.
And lastly, it seems to me like you was pretty rash to judge who's fools and who isn't fools. Them that eat onions is bad judges of who's eat onions and who ain't. Morning, ladies. Morning, Mr. Vandergelder.
Well, what do you want?
Uncle, you said you wanted to talk to us.
Oh, yes. Gertrude, go in and get my parade regalia. The uniform for my lord's parade.
What? Oh, Lord, have mercy.
Now, I had a talk with that artist of yours. He's a fool. Oh, weeping. Well, you can go down and weep for a while in New York where it won't be noticed. Ermengarde, I told him that when you were old enough to get married, you'd marry someone who could support you. I've done you a good turn. You'll thank me when you're 50.
But Uncle, I love him.
I tell you, you don't.
But I do.
And I tell you, you don't.
If I don't marry Ambrose, I know I'll die.
Well,
A broken heart.
never heard of it. Now, Mrs. Levi is coming here in a few moments, and she'll take you to New York. You're to stay with Miss Van Heusen, an old friend of your mother's. Now, you're not going to see my letters, except from me. I'll be there myself this afternoon, and I'll call on you tomorrow. Well, what do you want?
Malachi Stack, Your Honor. I heard you wanted an apprentice in the hay-feed provision and hardware business.
An apprentice at your age?
Yes, Your Honor. I bring a lot of experience to it.
Have you any letters of recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor. First-class recommendations.
Ermengarde, are you ready to start yet?
Yes,
Well, go and get ready some more, and let me know the minute Mrs. Levi arrives.
yes, Uncle Hart.
I don't want an able seaman, nor a typesetter, and I don't want a hospital cook.
No, Your Honor, but it's all experience. Excuse me. This one's from your former partner, Joshua Van Tull of Alderman.
For the most part, honest and reliable. Occasionally willing and diligent. There seems to be a certain amount of Hesitation about these recommendations?
Oh, businessman writers, Your Honor. There's only one businessman in the town who can write a good letter for the recommendation. Mr. Van Toon sends his best wishes and wants to know if he can use me in the provision and hardware business.
Not so fast, not so fast. What's this, Your Honor, you use so much?
Mr. Van Toon says you're president of the Hudson River Provision Dealers Recreational, Musical and Burial Society.
I am, but there's no Your Honor that goes with it. Now, why did you put the youngers?
I heard you had an apprentice that was good for nothing anyway. Aren't you wits end looking for another?
Wits end, there's no dirt that good for nothing apprentices.
No, that's right, Mr. Van Gelder. It's employers that's a dirt of. It seems like you hear of a new one dying every day.
What's that? Hold your tongue. See you being a barber and a valet too. How come you change place so often?
Change places, Mr. Van Gelder. When a man's looking for experience.
You drink?
No, thank you. Just had breakfast.
I didn't ask you whether you're drunk. I asked whether you're a drunkard or not.
No, Mr. Van Gelder. Why look at it from all sides? I don't even like liquor.
You keep looking at it from all sides and out you go. Remember that. Here. For all your faults, I'm going to give you a try.
You'll never regret it, Mr. Van Gelder. You'll never regret it.
Now, today, I want to use you in New York. I judge you know your way around New York.
Do I know my way around New York? I know every hole and corner in New York, Mr. Van Gelder.
Well, right. Here's $1. The train leaves in a few minutes. Take that bag there to the Center Hotel on Water Street. That'll save me a room. I'll be there about 4 o'clock and I'll see you then.
Yes, sir. Oh, but first, I'd like to meet the other clerks I'm to work with.
Oh, you haven't time now. Come on, hurry now. Station's across the street.
Yes, sir. You'll see, Mr. Van Gelder, you'll never regret it.
I regret it already. Go on, off with you. 99% of the people in the world are fools, and the rest of us are in great danger of contagion. But I wasn't always free of foolishness, as I am now. I was once young, just foolish. Fell in love and got married, which was foolish. For a while I was poor, which was more foolish than all the other things put together. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. I grew older, which was sensible of me, and I became a rich man. Did you see, I'm a man of sense. I guess you were surprised to hear that I'm planning to get married again. Well, I've got my reasons for it. In the first place, I like my house run with comfort, order, and economy. Now, that's a woman's work. But even a woman can't do it well if she's merely being paid for it. In order to run a house well, a woman must have the feeling that she owns it. Marry is a bribe that makes a housekeeper think she's a householder. To ever watch an ant carry a burden twice its size? What patience, what will, what excitement. Well, that's what I think of when I see a woman running a house. What giant passion in those little bodies. What quarrels with the butcher for the best cut. What fury at discovering a moth in the cupboard. Believe me, if women could harness their energies to something greater than a house and a baby carriage, why, they'd change the whole world. Second reason, ladies and gentlemen, well, I see by your faces you've guessed it already. Nothing like mixing with women to bring out the foolishness in a man of sense. That's a risk I'm willing to take. Just turned 60, and I've laid side by side the last $1 of my first $500,000. So if I should lose my head a little, I still have enough money to buy it back. Yeah, after many years of caution and hard work, man's entitled to a little risk and adventure. So I'm thinking of getting married. Yeah, like all you other fools, I'm willing to risk a little security for a certain amount of adventure. Think it over.
Get your hat.
My hat?
Quick, your trunk's at the station. Quick now, we're running away.
Running away? Where?
to New York to get married.
Ambrose, a girl can't go on a train with a man. It wouldn't be proper.
Listen, I'm taking you to my friend's house. His wife will take care of you.
Oh, Ambrose, dear, I can't do that. I can see you don't understand anything about girls.
But I tell you, we're going to be married.
Married? But what would Uncle say?
We don't care what Uncle say. We're eloping.
Ambrose, how can you use such an awful word?
Ermengarde, you just saw a field mouse.
Ambrose, why do you say such cruel things to me?
I beg you, for the last time, get your hat and coat. The train leaves in a few minutes. We'll be married tomorrow.
Ambrose, I can see you don't understand anything about weddings. Ambrose, don't you respect me? Good morning, darling girl. How are you? Oh, good morning, Mrs. Levi. And who is this gentleman who is so devoted to you? This is Ambrose Kemper, Mrs. Levi. Ambrose, this is Mrs. Levi. She's an old friend. And Mrs. Levi, a born Gallagher. Very pleased to meet you, Mr. Kemper.
Good morning, Mrs. Levi.
And Mr. Kemper, the artist? Delighted. And Mr. Kemper, may I say something very frankly?
Yes, Mrs. Levi.
This thing that you were about to do would be a very great mistake. Oh, Mrs. Levi, please explain to Ambrose. Of course, I want to marry her. Now, darling girl, you go inside and keep one eye on your uncle. I want to talk to Mr. Kemper alone for a moment. You give us a warning when you hear your Uncle Horace coming. Yes, Mrs. Levi. Mr. Kemper, I was this dear girl's mother's oldest friend. Now, believe me, I am on your side. I hope you will be married very soon, and I believe I can be of real service to you. And Mr. Kemper, I always come straight to the point.
What is the point, Mrs. Levi?
And Mr. Kemper Gelder is a very rich man, and Ermengarde is his only relative.
I'm not interested in Mr. Van de Gelder's money. I've got enough to support a wife and family of my own.
Enough. Mr. Kemper, how much is enough when one is talking of children and the future? The future is the most expensive luxury in the world, Mr. Kemper.
Mrs. Levi, what is the point?
Oh, believe me, Mr. Van de Gelder wishes to get rid of Ermengarde. And if you follow my suggestions, he will even permit her to marry. You see, Mr. Van de Gelder is planning to get married again.
Married? That monster?
Mr. Kemper.
Married? To you, Mrs. Levi?
Oh, no. I am merely arranging it. I am helping Mr. Van de Gelder find a suitable bride.
For Mr. Van de Gelder, there are no suitable brides.
I think we can safely say that Mr. Van de Gelder will be married to someone by the end of next week.
What are you suggesting, Mrs. Levi?
I am taking Ermengarde to New York on the next train. Now, I shall not take her to Miss Van Houston's as is planned. I shall take her to my house. I wish you to call to my house at 5:30. Here's my card.
Mrs. Dolly Gallagher Levi. Varicose veins reduced. I beg your pardon. Consultation's free.
I meant to give you my other card. Here.
Mrs. Dolly Gallagher Levi. Aurora Hosiery. Tuition in guitar and mandolin. You do all these things, Mrs. Levi.
2 and 2 make 4, Mr. Kemper. Always did. So, you will go to my house at 5:30. At about 6, I shall take you both with me to the Harmonia Gardens restaurant, and everything will be arranged.
How?
Oh, I don't know. One thing will lead to another.
How do I know I can trust you, Mrs. Levi? You might easily make the situation worse.
Oh, Mr. Kemper, your situation could not possibly be worse.
I wish I knew what you get out of this, Mrs. Levi.
But that is a very proper question. I get 2 things, a profit and pleasure.
How?
Mr. Kemper, I am a woman who arranges things. At present, I am arranging Mr. Van Gelder's domestic affairs. Out of it, I get, shall we say, little pickings. Well, I need little pickings, Mr. Kemper, especially just now when I don't have my train fare back to New York. You see, I'm frank with you.
That's your problem, Mrs. Levi. Where do you get your pleasure?
My pleasure. Mr. Kemper, when you artists paint a river or a hillside, you change everything. You make hundreds of little changes, don't you? Nature is never completely satisfactory and must be altered. Well, I am like you artists. Life as it is never interesting enough for me. I'm bored, Mr. Kemper, with life as it is, so I do things. I put my hand in here, and I put my hand in there, and I watch, and I listen, and often I'm very much amused.
None of my affairs, Mr. Levi.
Wait, I haven't finished yet. There's another thing. I'm very interested in this household here, in Mr. Van de Gelder and all that idle, frozen money of his. I don't like to think of it lying in the bank in great useless piles, Mr. Kemper. Money should be like rainwater. It should flow down among the people, among restaurants and cabmen and dressmakers, starting a little business here and furnishing a good time there. You see what I mean?
Yes, I do.
New York should be a very happy city, Mr. Kemper, but it isn't. My late husband came from Vienna. Now there's a city that understands this. I want New York to be more like Vienna and less like a collection of nervous and tired ants. And if you and Mr. Ermengarde get a good deal of Mr. Van de Gelder's money, I want you to see that it starts flowing in and around a lot of people's lives. And for that reason, I want you both to come with me to the Harmonia Gardens restaurant tonight. Mrs. Levi, Uncle Horace is coming. Mr. Kemper, I think you'd better be going. Darling girl, Mr. Kemper and I have had a very good talk. Now you'll see, Mr. Van de Gelder and I will be dancing at your wedding very soon. Oh, Mr. Van de Gelder, how handsome you look. You take my breath away. Oh, yes, dear girl, I'll see you soon. Yes, Mrs. Levi. Mr. Van de Gelder, if only Irene Malloy could see you now. I declare I don't know how you do it. You look younger every day.
Time for exaggeration, Mrs. Levi. The man eats well, there's no reason why he should look old.
You never said a truer word.
Well, I'll never see 55 again.
55? Oh, my. I can see you're just the sort of man that would be stamping about at 100 and eating 5 meals a day, just like my Uncle Harry. At 55, my Uncle Harry was a mere boy. I'm a judge of hands, Mr. Van de Gelder. Show me your hand. Oh, Lord in heaven, what a lifeline.
Where?
From here to here. It runs right off your hand. I don't know where it goes. Oh, I can see we'll have to stifle you with a sofa cushion. We'll have to hit you over the head with a mat. You'll bury us all. But now, to continue with our business. Mr. Van de Gelder, I suppose you've changed your mind again. I suppose you've given up all idea of getting married.
Oh, no, not at all, Miss Levi. I have news for you.
News?
Yes, I've practically decided to ask Mrs. Malloy to be my wife.
You have?
Yes, I have.
Oh, you have? Well, in that case, well, that's just about the best news I ever heard. But in that case, there remains nothing more for me to do but to wish you both every happiness under the sun and to say goodbye.
Well, Mrs. Levi, surely I thought that well.
Well, I did have another suggestion to make, but I won't.
What suggestion was that, Mrs. Levi?
Well, I have found another girl for you.
Another?
A charming girl, a perfect bride.
Another, eh?
But that's too late now. After all, you're engaged. Oh, well, you're practically engaged to marry Mrs. Malloy.
Oh, I ain't engaged to Mrs. Malloy.
Nonsense. When a man, at your time of life, calls 4 times on an attractive widow like that, and sends a pod of geraniums, well, that's practically an engagement.
It ain't an engagement.
And yet, oh, if only you were told, I found this treasure of a girl. Oh, I don't mind telling you I felt like a traitor to Irene Malloy, but I just couldn't help myself. I told her all about you as though you were a free man. Isn't that terrible? The truth is that she's a little in love with you already.
Ernestina?
Ernestina Simple. Of course, she's a very different idea to Mrs. Malloy. Ernestina is. Like her name. Simple, domestic, practical.
Did she cook?
Cook, Mr. Vanderbilt? I've had 2 meals from her hands, and as I live, I don't know what I've done that God should reward me with such meals. Now, I'm the best cook in the world myself, and I know what's good.
How old is she, Mrs. Levi?
19. Well, safe to think.
20, Mrs. Levi? Girls of 20 are apt to favor young fellows of their own age.
But you don't listen to me, and you don't know the girl. Mr. Van de Gelder, she has a positive horror of flighty young men. One fine head of grey hair, she says, is worth 20 shined up with goose grease. No, sir, I like a man that's settled. Well, in so many words, she said it.
That's not usual, Mrs. Levi.
Usual? I'm not wearing myself to the bone, hunting up usual girls to interest you, Mr. Van de Gelder. usual indeed. Listen to me. Do you know the sort of pictures she has on her walls? Is it any of these young Romeos and Lochinvars? Oh, no. Moses on the mountain. That's what she's got. If you want to please her, you give her a picture of Methuselah Spanish God in gratitude. That's my advice to you.
What's her family like?
Well, her father, don't be rude to him. Her father was the best, what am I trying to say? The best undertaker in Brooklyn. Admired, esteemed, knew all the best people, knew them well, even before they died. So, well, that's the way it is. Oh, let me tell you a little more about her appearance. As I say, a beautiful girl, beautiful. I've seen her walk down the street, you know what I mean? The young men get dizzy, they have to lean against lampposts. And she, modest eyes on the ground. But I'm not going to tell you any more. When you come to New York yourself?
Well, I was thinking of coming to New York this afternoon.
You were? Well, now, I wonder if something could be arranged. Oh, she's so anxious to see you.
Could I give you a little dinner, maybe?
Oh, I really don't know where I could get the time. I'm so busy with this wretched lawsuit of mine. Well, yes, if I win it, I don't mind telling you I'll be what's called a very rich woman. But right now, I'm at my wit's end for a little help. Just a little help. Yes, $50 is all I need to finish this lawsuit, and Staten Island's as good as mine.
$50, Mrs. Levi.
I'll be hunting all over New York for a suitable ride for you.
$50 is no joke.
For 2 whole months I've been scouring New York.
Go to where money's gone these days isn't hiding. Well, there's 20. There's 25. I can't spare no more, not now I can't.
Well, this could help. I will help somewhat. Now, I'll tell you what we'll do. I'll bring Ernestina to that restaurant on the Battery. Well, you know it, at the Harmonia Gardens. It's good, but it's not flashy. Now, Mr. Vandergelder, I think it would be nice if just this once you'd order a real nice meal. I guess you can afford it.
Well, just this once.
A chicken wouldn't hurt?
Chicken? Well, just this once.
And a little wine.
Wine? Well, just this once.
And now, about Mrs. Malloy. Shall we call that subject closed?
Oh, no, not at all, Mrs. Levi. First, I'm going to have dinner with Miss
Simple?
Simple. But before that, I want to make another call on Mrs. Malone.
And Miss Simple? Oh, dear, what races you make me run. Oh, very well. I'll meet you on one of those benches outside Mrs. Malloy's hat store at 4:30, as usual.
The buggy's here ready for the parade, Mr. Vandergelder.
Yeah, go and call Barnaby. I want to talk to both of you.
Yes, Mr. Vandergelder.
And now, do get your thoughts in order, Mr. Vandergelder. I can't go around upsetting and disturbing the finest women in New York City unless you mean business.
Oh, I mean business, all right.
I certainly hope so, because, you know, you're playing a very dangerous game.
Dangerous, Mrs. Levi?
Yes, and there's a name for it. You're tampering with these women's affections, aren't you? And the only way for you to save yourself now is to be married to someone by the end of next week. So, think that over.
This morning I'm joining my lodge parade. This afternoon I'm going to New York. And before I go, I've something I want to tell you. When I get back, there's going to be some changes here. I'll tell you what the change is, but I don't want you discussing it among yourselves. You're going to have a mistress.
Well, I'm too young, Mr. Vandergelder.
Not yours. That's the damnation, not yours, idiot. Mine. Hey, hold your tongue until you're spoken to. I'm thinking of getting married again.
Many congratulations, Mr. Vandergelder. My compliments to the lady.
None of your business. Now back to the store. Before I go, is there any questions you'd like to ask?
Mr. Vandergelder, does the chief clerk get one evening off every week?
So that's the way you begin being chief clerk, is it? Is it? When I was your age, I got a pie. Didn't close the store until 10 at night, and then put in a good hour at the account books. You, elegant laddies, lie in bed until 6. And at 9 o'clock at night, you rush so fast to close the door, the line of customers bark their noses. No, sir. You'll attend to the store as usual. And on Friday, on Saturday nights, keep it open until 10. Now, this is the first time I've been away from the store overnight. When I return, I want to hear that you've run this place perfectly in my absence. If I hear of any foolishness, I'll discharge you. An evening free. Do you suppose I had evenings free? If I had evenings free, I wouldn't be what I am now.
The horses nearly ran away when they saw him coming. Is something the matter, Cornelius?
Chief clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk.
But don't you like it?
Chief clerk? And if I'm good, in 10 years' time I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old and I still don't get an evening free. When am I going to begin to live?
Well, you can always begin to live on Sundays, Cornelius.
That's not living. Twice to church and old wolf trap's eyes in the back of my head the whole time. And as for holidays, what did we do last Christmas? All those canned tomatoes went bad and exploded. We had to clean up the mess all afternoon. Was that living?
No.
Barnaby, how much money have you got? Where can you get it?
$3, Cornelius.
Barnaby, you and I are going to New York.
No, we can't. Close the store.
Some more rotten tomato cans are gonna explode.
Holy cabooses. How do you know?
I know they're rotten. And all you have to do is light a match under. They make such a smell that customers can't come into the place for 24 hours. That gives an evening free. Barnaby, you and I are going to New York too. We're going to live. And I'm going to have enough adventures to last me until I'm partner. So go and get your Sunday clothes on.
What?
Yes, I mean it. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to have an adventure. We're going to be in danger. And we're going to spend all our money.
Holy cabooses.
One more thing. We're not coming back to Yonkers until we've kissed a girl.
But you can't, Cornelius. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33. I've got to begin sometime.
Well, I'm only 17. It isn't so urgent for me.
Don't start backing down now. The worst comes to the worst and we get discharged from here, we can always join the army.
Did I hear you say you'd be old Wolf Trap's partner?
How can I help it? Go to bed at 9 and open the store at 6. You get promoted upwards whether you like it or not.
My partner?
There's no getting away from it. You and I will be band together.
Oh, no. I may rise a little, but I'll never be a Vandergelder.
Listen, everybody thinks when he gets rich, he'll be a different kind of rich person from the rich people he sees around him. Later on, he finds out there's only one kind of rich person, and he's it.
But I'll never be...
No. Best of all would be a person who has all the good things a poor person has, and all the good meals a rich person has. Well, that's never been known. No, you and I'll be then together. All the more reason then for us to try and get some living and some adventure into us now. Will you come, Barnaby?
A store? Yes, Cornelius.
Yes, Mrs. Levi.
Well, take a last look, Ermengarde. What? Take a last look at your girlhood home, dear. When I left home, I picked up my heels and off I went. Oh, Gertrude, do you think I ought to get married this way? A young girl has